What's up guys, Dr. Shak here. Welcome back to another video. It's Tuesday, so let's talk fighting.
Let's talk now.
KSI versus Tommy Fury was a dud performance in influencer boxing. It was just a letdown. And it might be a hot take, but that's just how I feel. I honestly think that the prelims were a lot better than the main event. I think the best main event was probably Salt Poppy versus Slim. Slim with the comeback was insane. I think Salt Poppy was definitely throwing in a lot of powerful punches. That technical knockout came out of nowhere. But yeah, the two co-main events, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis and KSI versus Tommy Fury, those were very disappointing performances. I mean, what is this, bro? Dylan Dennis didn't even throw meaningful punches. There wasn't much that he did. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get right into it, but first, if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. I wasn't a huge fan of KSI versus Tommy Fury. I think the fight it set a lot of expectations that weren't met. For one, KSI didn't show much boxing technique that he said he would, and Tommy Fury, being a pro boxer, didn't show it as much as he potentially could have. I think Tommy Fury is a dirty boxer, and the ref wasn't regulating that at all. Every time they clinched, Fury would land punches to the back of the head, and the ref kept on letting that happen, especially in the first couple rounds. Did end with Tommy Fury losing point, which, I mean, getting hit to the back of the head is really bad in general, even if it's with a minor degree of damage. If you get hit in the back of the head, it's pretty common for fighters to feel fine, usually, because the brain just hasn't been shocked or signaled that there's a lot of pain. Any head injury is really bad in general, because they can lead to concussions and hematomas. Hematomas is when there's bleeding in the head. A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury that can permanently alter your brain's function because the physical force will literally jostle your brain around. And the problem is that concussions don't present with the same degree of pain, especially if you're a boxer. If someone feels pain from a direct blow, they can go to the emergency room and best possibly get that managed. In something like a fight where there's a lot of adrenaline and there's a lot on the line for fighters, they won't complain as much for direct head blows. And yeah, pain to the back of the head is just bad because it deliberates the inflammatory processes mediated by the brain. And yeah, KSI complained about it, but any boxer experiencing blows to the back of the head should immediately have that stopped by the ref. KSI could have gotten seriously hurt, and the pain that he felt can precipitate at any point in the near future, drastically leading to neurological symptoms. KSI, if you're watching this, you probably won't. I'm a 300 subscriber YouTuber. Please do a TBI screen. In the fight, while Tommy Fury threw more punches, KSI had a higher accuracy of his shots. I wasn't impressed at all with KSI's fighting style. It was very unorthodox and awkward. He kept jumping around, and I feel like he exhausted a lot of energy in doing this. And in one of the post-fight interviews that his coach was giving, he said that was to avoid KSI's technique was done, like they prepared him to do it, to fight in such a way to get rid of Tommy Fury's jab so that Tommy Fury couldn't react as much. So much for that. If you look at the stats, Tommy Fury had 55 jabs thrown in the entire fight, and 12 of which actually landed. So yeah, I mean, it was effective in deterring the jab, but the jabs were still thrown because that was his biggest lead in a lot of the combinations that he would throw. It's not like Fury couldn't do anything. I think for that reason, KSI was just wasting energy for no reason. Had he spent his energy in other ways, like his head movement, his hands being kept up, throwing jabs for himself, baiting and slipping, had he done any of those, he probably could have worked with it and done more damage or scored better. Counterpunching probably would have worked better, or throwing in more uppercuts. So yeah, for KSI, less jumping like a kangaroo, more of his hands being up with that guard, bait with the lead hand, throw in different combos, use more head movements, and yeah, again, throw in more uppercuts. All of these would biomechanically provide more payoff than jumping around. His cardio is insane, so he probably would have had more energy to do more setups like that. Okay, so that's the first reason. The second reason, the scorecards didn't match up with what I saw. I definitely think KSI won the first 2 rounds. I think he got a 10-9 in the first 2, and with the point deduction because of the foul play, it was definitely a 10-8 for the second round. Fury won rounds 3 through 5. Round 6 I think was close, but I think KSI should have won round 6 in my opinion. Anyway, Fury I don't think won that. I think it would have been a draw. Best case scenario. Alright, the last reason for why this fight was horrible, at least for the 2 co-main events, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis does not deserve to participate in any kind of combat sports, in my opinion, ever. He has made such a mockery of the sport. Didn't throw many punches. Paul had around 9 times more punches that landed. He also had more jabs that landed too. Let's take a look at the Logan Paul tops Dylan Dennis. There's not much of a comparison. Look at the stats, right? Like, more jabs landed, more jabs thrown, more power shots thrown by Logan Paul, and more power shots landed by Logan Paul. There's just no comparison. I don't even think Dylan Dennis took the fight seriously. All Dylan Dennis did was put up his guard. Dylan Dennis was doing literally anything but boxing. He kept on doing jiu-jitsu and trash talking in the ring, which is so stupid. And while the chaotic ending was entertaining, it still took a piss out of the event. It was funny because Dylan Dennis tried the jumping guillotine, and as a jiu-jitsu fighter, one would expect that to work, but it didn't even work against Logan Paul. Utter waste of time. I'd be pissed if I spent money to go see that live. Ultimately, while this was a mockery of the sport of boxing, I think it's a win for influencer boxing. I mean, you have to see that the event was headlined in some of the mainstream sports platforms in the world. For example, like ESPN. I think that's pretty dope. But yeah, the main events were disappointing. KSI got robbed of the draw, not the win. Fury did not win that fight. There's nothing convincing about Tommy Fury winning that. I think Fury is a good boxer. He still adapted to the unorthodox style that KSI displayed and still did what KSI's team tried to prevent him from doing, which was throwing out the lead jab. Paul and Dennis should have never happened. It's actually so funny because Logan Paul was being so motivational and inspirational in the post-fight ring interview.
Just for anyone going through some shit, past 2 months have not been easy. Sometimes the devil will make his way into your life. He will try to break you down spiritually, mentally, physically.
Like, bro, you literally just won out of a disqualification. All in all, the two co-main events were utter failures, especially because there was so much hype that was being generated. I, like many other people, wanted something more out of the main events, and I think that the outcome was a disappointment. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for your support. If you like the content, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Comment below if you agree or disagree with what I say. I do care about what you guys have to say, so definitely engage with me on that. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.